Yearly visits with Retro's entire channel is very nice and cordial, if anything else, more or less. My dear darlings, do you have any idea what's going on with him? Is this more of a mutant problem or a Marvel side of the issue? More or less, basically. Yes, and how do I say this nicely? He's kind of in a bit of a funk since the whole state of play happened as of yesterday, this recording, because, well, Logan had to be Logan, and God of War finally got the new, well, spin-off, which actually looks pretty good for what it is. I guess for the Deadpool and what's their name for freaking Daredevil? You really got an understanding of it. Yeah, I know. Retro, get up! So much to watch. Get up! I swear I'm going to zap. Just do the zap. Good sentence. Good girl. More or less. Hi, everyone. Can we just do some quick stuff here? Long story short, no, our show just dropped and our 4th season's finally here. Oh, wow, that actually took a time. Give me a sec. Woo! Okay, so, yeah, I could probably talk about the debut episodes. Very good, and your passive perception is very nice. Well, it's more of a speaker. No, darling. Yes, we are the Lord of the Day, right, son? And, yes, you are. Retrokid Reviews, back again to do a double review with a, basically, gauntlet of episodes. So, I'm going to be doing a generalized spoilers for the Marvel side of stuff. First and foremost, I'm very much aware of the state of play. That'll probably be a news video, hopefully before my He-Man review later this weekend, so be on the lookout for that. But let's get to some obvious stuff out of the Marvel of it all first off. Spider-noir, the whole season. Yeah, I watched it over the weekend. I watched, I think, the debut week of it on black and white. I could not finish the true hue colorization, because that's kind of the whole gimmick of basically this series, is to see in both styles. And you can definitely tell that it was very noir, obviously, and for Nicolas Cage himself coming back as not the Spider-Verse noir that everyone knows from the movies, but obviously the, I guess, Sony-ified, we have to do something with the rights, Ben Reilly of it all. Also, why aren't the spiders here? Marketing and basic security stuff for their own Spider again and again. I don't even know what's going on main comics wise. Same, and you are invited at this year's gala, right? Wait, that's still on? I'm very much aware that it is still on, and it's not Shaw's idea for once, which means it's probably mine that I must have forgotten an email. Yeah, you tend to do that, more or less, like your American accent. So, yeah, we're just gonna summarize what well, no. Cage is actually not bad for what you get. If this was like a good 10 or even 6 years ago when his character was popping off during Into the Spider-Verse, I could kind of see it surprisingly doing well for the platform as far as Amazon goes. Also, one of the things I missed or retro rec, I'm probably going to be talking about James Bond First Light, because yeah, that's actually a really good game. Played that last week as well. Ultimately, it's really up to you. This is a hard, heavy recommendation only if you're a fan of like Cage, if you're aware of like at least the crux of the comic version of noir, which there are some aspects of it that are still there. The only big difference timeline-wise is that he's a World War I vet instead of a World War II vet that he is mostly in other mediums, including the comics as well. But they do a really good job of what you got, and I don't have time to talk about most of the cast, and obviously the huge, I guess, noirified version of Spider-Man's villain roster, but I did sort of kind of like the Megawatt guy. I know he was just like a theater kid if he was from, I don't know, the Bronx or whatever, like a generic, anywhere-ified New Yorker that thinks he knows how to Broadway. It was kind of funny at first, and also for the humor, obviously, Cage dialed it up to 11 with, I think, the drunk episode of just basically, like, mag dumping his lore to, like, literally everyone he's plastered. It was actually kind of funny. As for the stunts and stuff, yeah, you could definitely tell when they put a stunt actor versus Cage in the costume pretty easily, despite which version of the show you're watching. But kind of understandable. This is a now 62-year-old Cage, and it's kind of understandable. But the fact that he's okay with having younger actors playing like that version of him in like the stunts department is still better than, I don't know, de-aging him, which they kind of also did in one of the flashbacks. So I know this is a knee-jerk 7 out of 10 recommendation, but that's kind of where we are, so we'll probably get to that in the wrap-up. So that being said, finally, our side of the story, go. So, as of today, as of this recording, Legend of Vox Machina Season 4 finally dropped, and yes, this is the beginning 3 episodes, so I'm not going to get too into the weeds of it, other than the Terry and Darrington of it all, played by Wayne Brady, that everyone and myself kind of knew in the news lead up to it. So getting on to, I guess, the Terry of it all, how is he represented in this arc for this version of the show? Pretty effectively. He's still kind of his doting himself as usual. Also, if anyone wants to see what would have happened of a Sam version of the character, he's done a bunch of one-shots with the character post Vox Machina. I think he did one earlier this year for a 24-hour stream for charity. So go to the, I guess, links there for the one-shot just to see how things been, at least Tal'Dorei-wise, for Terry. Outside of that, this is a big one-year time jump that I think most of the actual actual play community of the Critter community have basically been waiting for. Essentially, the kickoff for the Whisper One, aka their version of Vecna, that they have to legally say. But I don't know, probably since the whole Stranger Things implosion when it came to their final season, go to my review for that. I don't know, it would be interesting to see if they could keep the name. I doubt it in the coming week when it comes to these episodes. Like I said with all my other previous Critical Role reviews, they're all going to be short 3-episode chunks, which is the kind of the standard fare with Vox Machina's seasons as it's been the last couple of years. And ultimately, the fact that we're getting closer and closer to the final chapters of the proper campaign total is going to be insane. It's going to be very sad for most of the big moments that I loosely know, particularly on Vax's end. For those who've seen my Campaign 3 reviews, know what I'm getting into, essentially, with that character, among other things. Also, I literally cried when fucking Keela finally got her Armamente and finally got to be the voice of the Tempest. Man, it is so good to say that post-Campaign 3 now. Woo! Okay. So, that being said, and a lot of wooing, these are okay shows. As for Vox Machina, early days for what we have so far for Season 4, but it is still a strong 8.5 out of 10. It has got a lot of legs to get a decent 9 landing so that they can lead up to the final chapters of their campaign proper for this animated adaptation. As always, everyone in the voice cast is doing fantastic as usual. I have kind of blanking, aside from Wayne Brady, for guest celebrity voice actors they're going to be having for the season. So if anything, I'll leave the link down below as always for the IMDb for the cast as always, and obviously the wiki for the lore for Campaign 1 total, in case you guys want to know the changes of anything else. Also, check out Finn Films. I think he just finally started reviewing episodes as of today, so there will be other content creators I'll probably talk about as time goes on. And with that all being said, let's get to wrap-ups. Like I said, it is a strong 7.5 out of 10 for Spider-Noir. I don't know if they can do more for this miniseries. It is kind of interesting to see that Cage was kind of throwing himself for this version of well, not Peter, but obviously Ben here. And it's actually really interesting to see how things would go if they do get a season 2. I don't know how it ended up going viewership-wise, Nielsen ratings and all, when it comes to Spider-Noir. Ultimately, I'm happy that Sony didn't, like, totally butch whatever this version of the character is, like they usually were. Go to my active list or spum reviews of, like, the Spider-Man list movies I've talked about over the years, Venom and all, and Madam Web and all, and Morbius and all. Yeah, more about that with Gerald next time when we talk about Masters of the Universe this weekend. And yeah, ultimately when it comes to Legend of Vox Machina, it's still running on all cylinders. There's a great debut episodes. Can't wait to see more. Hope they stick the landing when it comes to at least adapting what they need to lead up for I guess the beginnings of their finale arc when it comes to this campaign. Outside of that, yeah, Wade Brady is I'm pleasantly surprised with the humor he's bringing so far with Terry. I'm not sure if there's more deeper lore that I might be missing when Sam was playing the character all the way back during the actual play. So again, let me know in the comments down below. And I guess since we're making a tradition here for Critical Role content, let's see what the D20 says. 18! Wow, getting close. I'm really getting good at this whole role thing. Maybe I should play D&D more often. Don't. Figures. So, with that all being said, I'm very confused. I guess, Emma here. Okay, are you going to be doing security for this week's gala? Sorry, this year's gala or not? And can I be his +1? Oh, no! To the shorts playlist to talk about my previous, just released, react to Campaign 4, speaking of Critical Role content, and go to the Dorellos over here Yeah, I guess eye rolling than usual. To see my previous review over on screen right now. So with that all being said, take care, subscribe. Figure form here to potentially be sunsetted because G.I. Joe Classified just showed a really cool character that might be my new human form if anything comes to mind when it comes to a certain action man of it all. Yeah, I heard about the news that before coming into this review, well, double reviews. So with that all being said, high point if you are new to the channel for mobile subscribers. That all being said, I'm Richard Character Review saying, yeah, with Mattel finally getting the DC deal and I think the core line for the kids are slowly coming out, I think it's time to finally get a new human form. About time. I really wasn't liking the 7-inch of it all. We are getting 6.5-inch or anything about 12. Don't really know. You're gonna have to check the specs on that multiversally-wise. Oh, that's just lovely, Retro. So nice of you to come back. And when's my Buccaneer review? Soon! You've been saying soon for like a couple of months. Just buy it online already. Come on.